Ladies and gentlemen, too often in life, we shrink our dreams to fit the size of our comfort zones. We hesitate, we doubt, and we tell ourselves to be realistic. But here's the truth. Greatness was never born from playing small. The future belongs to those who dare to think big, who believe that their dreams are valid, and who act boldly in pursuit of them. Don't be afraid to think big isn't just a phrase, it's a mindset, a way of life, and a call to action. Here are 4 powerful principles that will help you embrace that mindset and unlock your full potential. Number 1. Your mind is your greatest resource. Your mind is the most powerful asset you will ever possess. It's not your bank account, your job title, or your connections. It's the way you think, process, and perceive the world. Every decision you make, every goal you set, every challenge you overcome, all of it begins in your mind. The quality of your thoughts directly shapes the quality of your life. When you believe in your potential, you create opportunities that others miss. When you visualize a better future, you begin to act in alignment with that vision, pulling it closer with every step. The mind is the birthplace of every breakthrough and the battlefield for every struggle. If you want to change your life, the first place to start is not your environment or your circumstances. It's your mindset. Most people underestimate the power of their own thinking. They focus on what's in front of them, what others say is possible, and what has happened in the past. But your mind is not limited to your past experiences. It is a creative engine that can build futures that have never existed before. When you start to think bigger, when you allow yourself to dream without boundaries, something incredible happens. You begin to see possibilities where others see problems. You start finding solutions instead of making excuses. You no longer wait for life to hand you something. You realize you have the power to design it. But like any resource, the mind must be trained and developed. It must be fed the right thoughts, guarded from negativity, and stretched through learning and challenge. A mind that is constantly exposed to fear, doubt, and limitation will shrink and settle. But a mind that is filled with belief, knowledge, and bold vision will expand and thrive. That's why what you feed your mind matters. The books you read, the conversations you have, the content you consume. All of it is programming your perspective. Choose to fuel your mind with hope, courage, and ambition. Choose to focus on what you can do, not what you can't. There will always be obstacles, but the mind trained to think big sees those obstacles as stepping stones. It doesn't retreat when things get hard. It adapts, learns, and pushes through. It understands that setbacks are setups for growth, and that pain is often the path to progress. The mind can be your greatest enemy or your greatest ally, and the difference lies in how you choose to use it. You don't need to have all the answers right now. You just need to believe that your thoughts have the power to shape your future. The more you invest in your mind, through reading, reflecting, and dreaming, the more power you give yourself to rise above any limitation. Everything starts in the mind, so guard it, grow it, and unleash it. Because once you truly understand that your mind is your greatest resource, you will stop looking outside for permission to succeed and start looking within. Number 2, small goals don't inspire big action. Small goals might feel safe and manageable, but they rarely move us to act with passion or persistence. When the target is too small, the energy we bring to it is equally small. It's like trying to ignite a fire with a wet match. There's not enough friction to create the spark. Big action comes from big vision. When you set your sights on something that stretches you, excites you, and even scares you a little, it activates a deeper part of your motivation. It forces you to rise above your comfort zone and tap into potential you didn't even know you had. Small goals, on the other hand, can keep you stuck in routines, stuck in mediocrity, and stuck in cycles that don't challenge or inspire you to grow. Big goals demand big commitment. They wake you up in the morning with purpose. They keep you up at night with ideas. They make you care about how you spend your time, who you surround yourself with, and what you're doing with your life. When your goal is small, like losing just 2 pounds, saving a little bit of money, or just getting through the day, you don't need much from yourself. You don't have to be focused, disciplined, or passionate. You can coast, but when your goal is to transform your health, build a business, impact lives, or change your story completely, then every day becomes meaningful, every choice matters. You stop playing around and start showing up with full energy. The reason so many people stay stuck is not because they don't have the ability, it's because they're aiming too low. They set goals they already know how to achieve. They don't stretch, they don't risk, and they don't allow themselves to want something so bold that it might not work. But growth doesn't live in the known, it lives in the unknown. If your goal doesn't challenge your skills, test your patience, and push your limits, then it's not big enough to change your life. You have to be willing to risk falling short in order to rise higher. Because even if you fall short of a big goal, you still land farther than if you'd aimed for something small. Another problem with small goals is that they don't inspire other people. When you think big, speak boldly, and pursue something meaningful, people take notice. Big goals create movement. They attract support, resources, and ideas that would never show up if you kept your vision small and quiet. When you raise the level of your dreams, you raise the level of your life. You begin to align yourself with opportunities that match your new mindset. Small goals might give you quick wins, but they won't change your identity. Only big goals can do that. Of course, big goals can feel overwhelming. They require strategy, patience, and resilience, but that's what makes them powerful. They teach you how to become someone stronger, smarter, and more determined. The process of chasing a big goal will shape you in ways you never imagined. You'll discover strengths you didn't know you had. You'll develop habits that serve you long after the goal is achieved. The journey itself becomes as valuable as the destination. So don't settle for what's easy. Don't shrink your goals to fit your current situation. Stretch your vision to match your future potential. Think big, dream bigger, and take bold, consistent action towards something that sets your soul on fire. Because small goals may keep you safe, but only big goals will set you free. Number 3. Fear and failure are part of the process. Fear and failure are not signs that you're on the wrong path. They're evidence that you're doing something that matters. Every great achievement, every bold idea, every successful journey has walked hand in hand with fear and stumbled through failure. These aren't enemies to avoid. They're essential parts of the growth process. Fear shows up when you're about to step into something unfamiliar, something bigger than you've ever done before. It's a signal that you're leaving comfort behind and entering a zone where transformation happens. And failure, it's simply proof that you tried. It means you were brave enough to take a risk, to attempt something beyond the ordinary. The people who achieve the extraordinary are not those who avoid fear and failure, but those who face them head on and keep going. Most people let fear stop them before they even start. They wait until they feel confident, until everything feels certain, until the risk is gone. But that day never comes. Confidence is not something you wait for. It's something you earn through action. You build it by doing the hard things, by taking steps even when your hands are shaking. Fear will always be there when you think big, because your goals matter. If they didn't matter, you wouldn't feel nervous. The presence of fear is not a red light. It's a green light telling you that you're pushing yourself into new territory. Failure is often misunderstood. People see it as the end, as a judgment on their worth or ability. But failure is just feedback. It's a teacher. It shows you what didn't work so you can try again with better strategy, stronger focus, and deeper understanding. No one who has ever done something remarkable did it without first failing. Every inventor, every entrepreneur, every artist, every leader has a history of mistakes and setbacks behind their success. They didn't get lucky. They stayed in the game when others quit. They learned from every fall, adjusted their approach, and grew stronger with every step. The only true failure is giving up. Fear also becomes smaller when you take action. The longer you sit and wait, the bigger your fears grow in your mind. But when you take one step, then another, the fear begins to fade. You realize that you're capable of more than you thought. Courage doesn't mean the absence of fear. It means doing it afraid. And once you start facing your fears regularly, you become someone who doesn't run from challenge. You become someone who grows because of it. What separates dreamers from doers is not that one group feels no fear or never fails. It's that the doers take action anyway. They understand that both fear and failure are not roadblocks. They are stepping stones. They prepare you, shape you, and strengthen you for the success that lies ahead. Without fear, you would never know the joy of courage. Without failure, you would never know the power of persistence. So stop seeing fear as something to escape, and stop letting failure define your story. Instead, embrace them. Let them be the tools that carve your strength, your clarity, and your resilience. The road to success is not a straight line. It's a winding path filled with hard lessons, emotional hurdles, and moments of doubt. But those who rise are those who refuse to let fear or failure have the final word. They keep showing up, keep learning, and keep believing in what's possible. And so can you. Number 4. Expand your circle. Expand your vision. The people you spend time with have a powerful influence on how you see the world, how you see yourself, and how big you're willing to dream. If you're always surrounded by people who think small, who settle, who fear change, then slowly, without even realizing it, your vision begins to shrink. You start accepting limitations that aren't truly yours. You stop aiming higher because no one around you is challenging you to grow. But the moment you expand your circle, when you start spending time with people who think differently, who push boundaries, who dream bigger than you begin to see possibilities you never noticed before. Your perspective widens, your goals stretch, and your belief in what's possible multiplies. Growth doesn't happen in isolation. It happens in environments that encourage challenge, curiosity, and elevation. If your current circle of influence only talks about the past, complains about the present, or fears the future, your mind will stay stuck in that same cycle. But when you engage with people who talk about ideas, opportunities, solutions, and impact, your thinking starts to change. You start to question old habits. You begin to crave more. You're no longer content with staying the same because you've seen, through others, what expansion looks like. Expanding your circle is not about cutting people off or thinking you're better than anyone else. It's about being intentional with your environment. Just like a plant needs the right soil to grow, you need the right relationships to thrive. That means seeking out mentors who are ahead of you, peers who inspire you, and even critics who challenge you to sharpen your vision. Every great achiever has a team, a circle, that fuels their fire. Behind every strong leader is a community that pushes, supports, and believes in the dream, even when it's still just a seed. Sometimes, the first step to expanding your circle is simply being brave enough to leave the one that's holding you back. That may mean letting go of constant negativity, distancing yourself from toxic patterns, or choosing not to engage in small-minded conversations. It's not easy, it may feel lonely at first, but growth often requires space before it brings connection. In that space, you'll find new people, those who reflect the version of yourself you're becoming, not the version you're trying to escape. And when you find those people, those visionaries, risk-takers, builders, and believers, hold on to them. Learn from them. Let their stories, struggles, and successes expand your awareness of what's truly possible. Pay attention to how they think, how they move, and how they bounce back from failure. You'll notice that the common trait among them isn't perfection, it's perspective. They see obstacles as opportunities, they talk about the future with hope, not fear, and most importantly, they make you believe that you can do it too. You become like the people you spend time with. So if you want to dream bigger, act bolder, and live with purpose, spend time with those who make you feel like anything is possible. Surround yourself with voices that speak life into your goals. Sit at tables where big ideas are welcome. And when you can't find that circle, build it. Start being that kind of person for others, because as your circle grows, so does your courage. As your community evolves, so does your calling. Expand your circle, and your entire vision for what's possible will never be the same. So, the next time someone tells you to be realistic, smile and dream even bigger. You weren't born to blend in with mediocrity. You were born to lead, to inspire, and to build something that outlives you. Dream big, think bold, and act bravely, because the world needs your greatness. God bless you.